Chapter 21, Journey Through the Forest, Part 5. With a warm farewell, Candice and Jarek thanked the sailor, acknowledging the challenges they'd faced together over lake storms and mysterious dangers. His steady guidance and expertise had brought them to this new beginning, and they parted with a respectful nod. Feeling the weight of shared experiences, they turned towards the small, rustic bus that would carry them on a final stretch through the sprawling forest to Haliriel, the legendary citadel of the elves. Candice felt a sense of both relief and excitement, looking forward to what lay ahead. The bus, though simple in design, exuded a comfortable charm that seemed fitting for the forest journey. As they settled into their seats, a tranquil atmosphere filled the air, a distinct shift from the lake's tense and unpredictable waters. The hum of the engine became a lullaby as the bus rolled onto a narrow, winding road, taking them deeper into the forest. The scenery around them soon unfolded into a realm of natural splendor. Shafts of sunlight filtered through the dense canopy above, casting shifting patterns on the forest floor and filling the air with a warm, golden glow. Giant trees, ancient and majestic, lined the road, their towering trunks forming a green wall that seemed to embrace them. As Candice and Jarek gazed out the windows, the forest revealed its beauty in layers, each one more enchanting than the last. Small clearings opened up now and then, showcasing colorful blooms and glimpses of wildlife. The journey unfolded like a dream, their pace unhurried as if the forest itself welcomed them with open arms. The dappled sunlight, the sweet scent of pine and moss, and the chirping of hidden birds created a symphony of tranquility. Candice leaned back, letting her gaze linger on the rich landscape outside the window. For a brief moment, the forest's peace washed away the fatigue of her long journey. Eventually, they began passing through open clearings, where the dense forest canopy gave way to pools of sunlight. In these pockets of open air, crystal-clear lakes reflected the deep blue sky and towering trees, creating surreal mirrors in the wilderness. One lake in particular, surrounded by a ring of ancient trees, looked like something from a legend. Candice found herself wishing they could stop and sit by its edge, allowing themselves to immerse in the stillness of the place. After hours of travel, the forest gradually gave way to the outskirts of Haliriel, signaling their arrival at the edge of the city's first district. Known as the Market District, or more often as the Outsider District, it marked the base of the citadel, where visitors and residents alike entered. Unlike the secluded beauty of the forest, this district was bustling, with a mix of human and elven architecture. Shops, warehouses, and residential buildings dotted the landscape, some structures made from simple wood and stone, while others embraced the elven touch, flowing with natural lines that seemed to mimic the shapes of the forest itself. Here, magic and commerce intertwined. The hum of enchanted energy sources filled the air, powering lights and other amenities in the district. Rising above the structures were towering trees, their massive trunks reaching up to support the upper levels of Haliriel. Around these ancient pillars, tall towers stretched skyward, blending seamlessly into the natural surroundings. The trees themselves, their branches intertwined with elven structures, seemed to embrace the district, creating a sense of harmony between the city and the forest. Elves moved gracefully through the bustling streets, their light-footed presence in stark contrast to the lively humans who called this level home. The district's blend of human resilience and elven elegance gave it a unique, vibrant character. Candice and Jarek's attention soon turned to the stairways that spiraled up the massive tree trunks, leading to the second district. Access to this level was more restricted, with elven guards stationed near the base of the stairs. Dressed in armor that shimmered with an ethereal sheen, the guards exuded an air of calm authority, yet their watchful eyes missed nothing. The stairway itself was a marvel, carved out of the living wood of the trees, each step flowing naturally into the trunk. Elven magic seemed woven into every detail, from the sturdy railings to the faint greenish glow that guided the way. As Candice and Jarek approached the base of the staircase, they noticed that entry into the second district required a special permit for outsiders. This permit, enforced by the guards, ensured that only elves or certain trusted guests could proceed to the higher levels. The second district was reserved for those with connections to the elven world, a a place of tranquil residences and a refined simplicity that echoed the elves' reverence for nature. The guards, though reserved, glanced at Candice and Jarek with a hint of curiosity. They were accustomed to visitors in the Market District, but fewer non-elves ventured beyond it without a purpose. Yet Candice could feel that even here, in this place of beauty and order, the elves were vigilant, protective of their secrets and their way of life. With a nod to the guards, she and Jarek made their way through the Market District, taking in the sights and sounds of this lively place. Candice and Jarek approached the guards at the base of the grand staircase leading to the second district, their hearts beating in tandem with the rhythm of anticipation. The guards, standing stoically in their elegant attire, exuded an air of authority and vigilance. As the duo drew closer, they noticed the guards' eyes glinting with curiosity, but maintaining a watchful demeanor. "Excuse us," Candice ventured, her voice steady despite the flutter of nerves in her chest. "We'd like to access the second district." One of the guards regarded them with a raised brow, his tone clipped yet polite. "You'll need a permit to enter," he informed them, gesturing to a signpost nearby. Candice glanced at Jarek, who nodded, his expression resolute. "How much are the permits?" After a brief exchange with the guards, they learned that the permits were reasonably priced. "We have more than enough," Jarek said, glancing into his pouch. Candice felt a rush of relief at their good fortune. Their few remaining coins were a boon for this venture. Once they procured the permits, the guards stepped aside, allowing them to pass. With excitement bubbling within them, Candice and Jarek ventured into the second district. As they stepped beyond the threshold, they were immediately enveloped in the tranquility and beauty that defined this part of Haliriel. Elven architecture loomed majestically around them, ornate and organic, seamlessly blending with the natural landscape. The serene trees, with their iridescent leaves, formed a vibrant canopy overhead, their presence whispering of the magic that infused the district. Candice found herself enchanted by the way the light filtered through the leaves, casting intricate patterns on the cobblestone paths. They wandered through elevated parks and lush gardens, their senses awash with the sweet fragrance of blooming flora. Laughter and music drifted through the air, echoing the revelry of elves who inhabited this enchanting space. "It's beautiful," Candice said, her voice barely above a whisper as she took in the sights. "Yes, it is," Jarek replied, his eyes sparkling with admiration. "We should come back here one day." As they explored, they caught the attention of a passing female elf. Her features were delicate, and she regarded them with a blend of curiosity and concern. "Your attire is quite unusual for elves," she remarked, tilting her head. Candice felt a flicker of embarrassment, realizing their clothing set them apart. They were outsiders in this land of elegance. "We're travelers," Candice replied, forcing a smile. "Just passing through." The elf nodded, though her gaze lingered, as if trying to discern the truth behind their words. As they continued to wander, Candice felt a strange mix of emotions. The beauty around her contrasted starkly with the dullness of her tribe's architecture. It stirred a deep sadness within her, a longing for a home she had never truly known. "I can't believe our ancestors left this beautiful land," she mused, her voice thick with emotion. Jarek studied her thoughtfully. "It is a pity," he replied, "but I think our home has more soul." He gestured towards the sprawling gardens. "Look at the life here. There's something lacking." They both fell into silence, contemplating the longing that settled in their hearts like a heavy cloak. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting golden rays upon the district, the atmosphere began to shift. With the evening approaching, a sense of unease crept in. The guards who had allowed them entry into the second district now approached, their expressions inscrutable. "You two, follow us," one guard commanded, his tone firm yet lacking the edge of aggression. A wave of anxiety washed over Candice and Jarek. "What's going on?" Jarek whispered, tension coiling in his gut. "I don't know, but we can't go with them," Candice replied, fear creeping into her voice. They exchanged frantic glances before making a split-second decision to flee deeper into the second district, their hearts racing. They dashed into the winding pathways, the sounds of the bustling district fading behind them as they sought refuge in an elevated park nestled amidst the trees. Surrounded by nature, They pressed against the cool bark of a serene tree, panting as they tried to gather their wits. "We need to think," Jarek said, glancing around nervously. "They can't just arrest us without reason. We haven't done anything wrong." "Maybe they think we're spies or something," Candice suggested, the weight of the situation settling on her shoulders. "We need to find a way out of here before they catch us." Their resolve hardened, and they began to strategize. But as they listened intently, the tension around them escalated. Candice could feel a palpable shift in the air, the presence of the guards becoming more pronounced, though they were merely maintaining order in the district. They slipped past a pair of guards patrolling nearby, employing stealth and agility as they maneuvered through the serene beauty of the elevated park. The vibrant hues of the evening sky painted a stark contrast to their mounting anxiety, every rustle of leaves heightening their senses. Finally, as they approached the bustling streets of Haliriel, their hearts raced with urgency. They needed to blend in, to become part of the crowd. "Stay close," Jarek instructed, his eyes scanning their surroundings. But as they navigated through the throngs of elves, they caught the attention of the First District guards, who spotted them and quickly began to pursue. Panic surged through them as they darted through narrow alleys, desperate to escape the encroaching guards. "Candice!" Jarek called out as he grabbed her arm, pulling her along. "This way!" They dashed through the vibrant market stalls where the enticing aroma of elven delicacies filled the air. Candice felt the energy of the district thrumming around them, the laughter and chatter blending into a chaotic symphony. Just as they thought they might escape, they found themselves cornered, surrounded by guards who swiftly closed in. "Stop! You're under arrest!" one shouted, and their hearts sank. The guards wasted no time in capturing them, firmly grasping their arms and escorting them toward the Third District. Confusion engulfed Candice and Jarek as they tried to comprehend their predicament. The vibrant life of the district buzzed around them, but they were trapped in a bubble of uncertainty. "Why are we being arrested?" Jarek muttered, glancing at the guards. "I don't know," Candice whispered back, her mind racing. "It can't be for our permits. They didn't even check them." As they walked through the Third District, they could see elves going about their daily lives, oblivious to the chaos that had befallen the two outsiders. The beauty of the surroundings seemed to mock their plight, and Candice's heart sank further. Eventually they were brought before a grand edifice, the High Temple of Nature, its majestic architecture towering above them. Candice's eyes widened as she took in the large serene trees that rose like columns within the temple, their branches forming intricate openings through which rays of sunlight streamed, illuminating the space with a soft glow. "Please, just tell us what's going on," Jarek pleaded as they were ushered into a vast room adorned with the beauty of nature. The guards exchanged glances, but remained silent. They were led deeper into the temple, finally entering a back room where a large marble table awaited them, surrounded by many empty seats. "Sit there," one guard instructed, gesturing to the opposite end of the table. Candice and Jarek obeyed, still reeling from the sudden turn of events. At the head of the table sat a small council of 3 High Elves. The old male elf radiated a natural worshipful aura, his clerical demeanor juxtaposed with the sense of wisdom he exuded. Beside him, another clerical-looking elf wore a less authoritative expression, while a well-dressed female elf adorned with a crown made of leaves and jewels commanded attention with her regal presence. As they sat in silence, Lucas and Mina were brought in, wearing local vestments that added to the air of intrigue. The tension in the room heightened as they realized that both groups were being observed under the watchful eyes of the High Elves. "Who are you?" Candice asked, her voice trembling with uncertainty. But before they could answer, the council began to discuss amongst themselves. Candice sensed they were testing whether she was the one Lucas had sensed, with the intent to reveal Lucas and Mina only after they were convinced. "None of us are aware of the reason for this meeting," Candice murmured to Jarek, feeling the weight of their unknown fates pressing down on her. She could see that Lucas and Mina were also held under surveillance, their expressions revealing a mix of confusion and anxiety. In that moment, it became clear that their paths were intertwined in ways none of them could yet comprehend. And as the High Elves deliberated, Candice's heart raced with a mix of fear and anticipation for what lay ahead.